Yeah, we're happy with that.
That's it, we're on, filming. So, Rob.
Turn the talk sport down.
Big month.
Yeah, big month.
Big month. For both of us.
Yeah,
for
big
very
month.
different reasons.
Yeah, yeah.
Obviously.
How's she doing? How's the baby doing?
The baby is fine. The baby slept for nearly 9 hours last night. Obviously broken up with one feed. Slept all the way through. Good day, isn't it?
Get out of the van.
Unbelievable.
I'm having a nightmare.
I come down to load her out this morning and she's still fast asleep.
My lad's getting up at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, and then 5 o'clock. And then he's up at 5.
I'm not lulling myself into any false sense of security.
No.
But very good at
I just hope it's horrendous for you. It's been horrendous for me. So I just hope it's the same for you.
Both times.
Yeah.
So, but that's by the by.
Yeah.
Obviously, £70,000 richer.
70 grand, yeah, lovely. Lovely little prize, isn't it? Yeah, lovely little Brucey bonus.
Obviously, you rang me the day before, said I'm going to win it on the bomb. And you won it on the bomb.
I didn't say I was going to win it on the bomb. I said
you fancy it on the bomb.
I fancy it on the bomb.
And you did. With good reason, obviously.
I went, I'll tell you what I did. In that match, I went, and you know how I like to fish. I like to go and set up a few things, cover sort of like a lot of my bases, and then work out how everything's feeding on the day.
Yeah.
It's a deep old lake, Hayfield it is.
Not fishing great.
It fished brilliantly in the run-up, but then everywhere recently seems to take a bit of a dive. Yeah, I don't know whether it's because the weather's been so unsettled. I don't know.
Cold, isn't it?
It's been quite cold, yeah, for the time of the year. And I just thought I'd take everything, try and just fish with a clear head, start how I start any match on a commercial, whether it's a 10 pegger for 50 quid or 70 grander. So start nice and steady, take my time, feel my way in, and try and fish with a clear head. What I don't like to do, and I've done it a few times before on these big matches, is come up with a method a week before, 2 weeks before, that's my method, and stick to it. And you can totally blow out on the day doing that.
Loads of people do that.
Loads of people do that. And I think that's a brilliant way, you know.
Oh no. You've fallen out.
Oh. I think.
Very technically advanced, aren't we?
Yeah, it is. Just rest it on my cap. I think that's a brilliant way, you know, going with a preconceived method. If you feel you're going to struggle with nerves and if you're going to struggle with the pressure of the occasion, because obviously that gets to.
Let's be honest though. How many of them big finals have ever won with Plan A? Not very often, is it? As in, someone goes practices for 2 weeks and then wins it.
Exactly.
Not very often.
And I tell you, prime example was Fishermania this year. Obviously, loads of people could have watched that on the Saturday.
Well, guys, there were great methods in the week.
Brilliant methods. Then all of a sudden, with an hour and a half, 2 hours to go, it turns into the fish come up and it's a dobbing match. All of a sudden.
No one even spoke of that.
No one even spoke of that. So obviously, if you'd have set your stall out to just fish on the bottom all day, catching small fish or a feeder match, you'd have missed out on those fish. So I think you've just got to go with a nice open mind.
Read your peg,
and just try not to let the event affect you, so you can still think clearly about it.
Obviously, you've drawn a nice area.
I've drew a fantastic area.
Yeah, top three at the line.
Yeah, there's 3 of us in a line, we've all got top 3, so obviously I'm bang on the fish. What I think helped me was
fine margins, though, wasn't it?
Fine margins. I started off better than those around me, so I had a better first hour and a half, because whereas the guys around me were trying to catch fish on their preferred methods,
you were taking what was there, so
I just felt that to go for a steady day, because it wasn't exactly. You could just tell from the first half an hour,
bright.
You could tell by looking around the lake. No one was really catching much. 1 and 2 fish was like really good in the first hour. If someone had caught that was good
start. And then obviously you've done mostly damage on the bomb.
Yeah, nearly all of it.
You've just done a little video, haven't you, on that?
Yeah.
So that'll be on your Facebook page.
That'll be on my Facebook page. Probably before this
now.
Yeah. I'll tell you exactly how I fished it, because this is reiterating a little bit what I've done on my video, but it doesn't matter. I started short, on hard pellet. I always start short, because 1, you catch a couple of mugfish, and 2, it tells you so much about the day. And obviously when I go coaching, the first thing I teach people is the watercraft side of it and how to sort of feel your way into a session. So start short. It's really easy to do. You've only got 5 metres of pole in your hand, so you can look around.
Can't you see what's going on?
Get a feel for what's happening during the day. You're fishing on the bottom, so you'll know if you're fishing up in the hook, so you'll get line bites and things like that. And you just look for all the little signals. So if you're getting line bites and you can't get a bait to the bottom, it's going to be a shallow day. If matey next to you has chucked his waggler out and he starts catching, well, maybe the fish want to be a bit further out today. I've got to start thinking about fishing a waggler. Actually, on the day, no one really put any amount of fish together, and I'd caught 2 fish on the bottom, short, and that was as good as anybody, really. But
Give you a bit of time to feed your bomb line. And
it gave me time to feed my bomb line. But what I actually did is didn't feed anywhere in my peg for sort of 20 minutes, half an hour, until I wanted to make a decision about my next step. So I've made the decision. It's going to be a bomb day today. This camera keeps.
Yeah, your tripod's not as good as mine.
No, it isn't mine.
T-shirt, is it?
No, it isn't. No.
My t-shirt's pulling through.
So.
Is Bin Lorry going to let you through here?
Yeah, of course it is.
Yeah,
Made a decision. It's going to be bomb's going to be my next. Where I'm going to catch my next few fish.
Next move.
Started feeding 8 mils at 25-30 metres. Chucked on it after 20 minutes and had a brilliant run for like an hour and a half, 2 hours, and then lost my way with my feeding. Plus, you could tell the fish were backing off all the time. Nicked a couple of fish here and there.
Feeding a lot of pellets?
Probably got through sort of 3 pints during the day,
yeah.
But probably didn't need to get through that much. It was more when I lost control of what. I was trying to force it a little bit later when people were catching up. And then people were chipping away at me a little bit, and then obviously I've caught a fish late on, like a minute to go, which looking back probably I didn't need, but
it was a nice.
Yeah, I wouldn't have liked. The weighing would have been. The weighing would have been mega close without it. So
brilliant.
Yeah, really good result. I've got to say, obviously,
great event.
Amazing event. Brilliant that it gets organised every year. The whole setup's brilliant. The evening before is brilliant.
Yeah, well done, mate. On that.
And when you talk about the big money finals, obviously that's overtaken in my mind the other ones because of the money involved. And it's hard to actually put it into context because there's not really. I think obviously John Winkle won the same amount of money last year. I can't think of another event.
Unbelievable.
I can't think of another event where that amount of money has been available.
Yeah, it's and that brings us on to what we're doing today, really, because obviously they're summertime events,
yeah,
these big money events, and then now we've got winter events.
We've got winter events. We've been struggling for winter events, haven't we?
Big money.
And you know me, I just like to put my gear away in the winter, and that's it. But
I'll go lure fishing.
I'll go lure fishing, but partly that's because it's just not the events that are exciting anymore.
But now we've got the golden rod.
Yeah,
we're going to go look at today.
We've got the golden rod. Obviously Phil Briscoe's organising it.
Yeah.
He initially started Maven Match this, several years ago, but now he's branched off on his own. He's doing
golden reel and golden
rod. 60 peg qualifying matches.
12 grand to the winner of the final.
12 grand to the winner of the final. Yeah. You've got to come. Is it win your zone of 20 anglers?
Yeah, 3 to go through on every qualifier.
So 3 goes through on every qualifier. You win your zone.
A familiar format, shall we say?
Yeah. You win your zone. Go through to the final.
And
12 grand.
Yeah. So we're heading to Larford today, aren't we? Have a little look. Probably, no doubt Phil will be about, so he'll probably tell us a few things about the event.
Yeah.
But we're going to have a little fish.
Yeah.
Feeder out.
Chuck feeder out.
And see what we can learn for the upcoming qualifier.
Yeah, sounds good. I'm looking forward to it. Because you catch, there's a variety in there, skimmers, and we could catch
20 pounder.
Yeah, we could catch a couple of massive carp. So that'd be nice, that one.
So yeah, so that's what we're on to today. We'll see you there. Look at this, call me. Disease control. Okay, Jake.
Morning.
Right. How are we doing?
Good morning.
Alright?
How are we?
You are being filmed, so please do not swear.
No, let's do it.
I'm good, alright?
Yeah, good. Congratulations, mate.
Thank you.
Very pleased, mate. Awesome.
What do you reckon then, Rob?
What do you reckon? It looks nice,
Looks
doesn't
lovely.
It looks nice, but you know when I come and fish a match here, There's loads of fish topping. You can tell there's loads of fish in here, but they must.
They're hard to catch.
Yeah, they've seen it all before.
They've been in here a long time, haven't they?
I love the row of trolleys along the top of the bank.
No danger which one sell the most, is a look.
No, I know.
We're dipping.
Yeah,
let's have a dip. Little dip up. Dipped up. Dipped up. Pelleted up. Let's go.
Should have got some food, shouldn't I?
No food.
Do you reckon he'll come round?
Got 2 bananas. Martin, mate. Seen Phil for a chat, haven't we?
Yeah,
Big Phil.
Told us his plans.
Big plans.
Secret plans.
Colmick. Big plans for Colmick.
Yeah.
Good to see. Good brand. Looks lovely, doesn't it? Right. Now this is the first time I've ever noticed this.
Haven't you?
I mean, driving round, You don't often get. You used to have to walk. It used to be horrendous, didn't it?
Yeah. I think. Did you say you can drive around all of it now?
Yeah. Pick on the burr, you drop and then walk back and all that jazz. A lot of scum there, look.
Yeah, lots.
Lovely lake, especially though, isn't it? Look at it.
See if he's got out.
No. Catching.
Have you caught?
Just starting.
Oh, have you?
Okay.
We're just setting up.
We're all setting up. Just setting up. Alright. He's got his bag of margin mix there. Look, he's got one.
He's got one.
No, he hasn't. Plumbing up, lad. Plumbing up.
He's really in a bit nonchalant there.
These two here look good, don't they? My favourite. Should we have a look? Be nice to sit next to each other, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Looks lovely, isn't it?
We're going to have to go down there then, aren't we?
Unless there's some around this corner. Nice cap, that, Jake.
There's a good cab. Yeah.
New shoes as well, I noticed, look.
I've
These
noticed the shoes,
Look
yeah.
at that, new shoes. Frankie, can I have some shoes?
There is shoes.
Oh, here we go, this is us, isn't it?
Yeah.
These two.
Sure.
Yeah, these are us. Oh, them two.
Yeah. Why didn't we drive around that way then?
Because there's a pallet.
Yeah, just there. Should I drive it back round?
No.
Yeah, but we can go right down.
Yeah, but we can park there. It's not
Right,
exactly
yeah.
far, is it? Compared to the olden days. Oh, this is bang on. Right, well, as we alluded to in the van, we're on the Spessy Lake of Larford. We've come around on peg 70 and peg 68. As we sort of mentioned, that skimmers are probably going to play a massive part of this match with an odd carp, maybe late or early. So I'm just setting up my main skimmer attack. Now, I don't want to fish too far out because, you know, a lot of the fish here, people are catching on pellet wagglers and bombs and things. So the furthest they're ever going to feed them is 20 to 30 metres. So I kind of think that setting this up in that kind of range would be ideal, really. Don't want to go too far because there's nice depth here and that, so I don't see any point. But my carp line is going to be at just 5 to 6 metres. I'm just going to, you know, leave it to the last sort of hour and a half, 2 hours before feeding anything, and then I'm going to go in with a big old cage feeder, fill it in, and then leave it, and then go on it the last hour and hopefully catch 2 or 3 big uns. That's the plan anyway. But let's just have a little look. Just gonna. I want to fish really about 20 metres ideally, just a nice little lob. It's quite nice. It's got a nice little depth there. So everyone fishes that kind of range. It's ever so silty there. I think that's par for the course. It's not that bad actually. It's bouncing along there with that lead. Ounce and a half lead, so you get a nice feel on the bottom. It's quite rocky, which is nice. Let's have a chuck a little bit further. Let's probably 25 metres. And similar depth wise. Much softer there. Very, very soft. You can imagine that silt's built up over years and years of people firing 8mm in. So that, whatever distance that is, I feel like I'm on a bit of firmer bottom, so I'm going to fish there, I think. Let's have a little cast just to double check. Nice little 10-foot 10 rod, actually trying out the new Horizon XS Slim today. She's designed for this sort of skimmer fishing. Nice little chuck that with a little cage feeder. Should just be ideal for these skimmers. We'll talk about bait and that in a bit more detail with Rob in a minute. But for now, let's just get the setup right. Looks nice. Yeah, and that's sort of bouncing. So we're happy with that. All I've got, you'll have fixed rigs here at Larford, but I'm not going to use a fixed rig. I'm just going to use like a semi-fixed sliding rig with a bead above it, just in case, you know, you do hook a big carp, which, you know, this lake's notorious for. We don't want to leave them snarled up in hooks and leads and things, so just got a little free running setup, but only about 1 inch, and it'll feel, the feeder should hopefully bang against that and hook the fish nice and easy. So let's just have a quick catch up with Rob, and then we'll have a look at the baits.
So I'm not sure what Joe's going to do today, but having come here probably a couple of months ago and fished the Feeder Masters qualifier, I felt that targeting skimmers on their own, I know it was warmer weather, but it's still pretty warm now, targeting skimmers on their own probably wasn't the way to go to actually win a 20 peg zone. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fish one line and just take it from there and see how the day progresses. That line's going to be where everyone feeds those pellets on a pellet waggler or bomb and pellet line. You know, during the warmer months, it's going to be at sort of like 30 metres out. I've had a quick chuck around. The bottom feels nice. It's a little bit deeper than I'd fancied, but it feels okay to me, to be fair. I'm going to start just chucking a little feeder, little method feeder. I'm going to vary my hook baits. I'm going to vary what goes on the feeder, pellets, ground bait, a mixture of the two. I'm going to vary my hook baits and just target carp at the start of the match. Ideally I want carp all the way through, but I just know that during the middle of the match I'm going to have to alter things and maybe start targeting a few skimmers with dead maggots as hook bait, maybe just feeding more ground bait on the feeder. I've also, because I'm using the Preston quick change system on the method feeder, I can put on a little cage if I want to and have a chuck over with a cage or a pellet feeder and just see if it makes a difference to actually, you know, whether the presentation makes a difference to the species of fish that I'm catching. So really simple approach, and I'm just going to suck it and see really. I've got the big boy setup. This is for putting in some bait at sort of 5-6 metres or wherever I fancy later on in the session. My Boscher feeder, that's 5 centimetres by 7 centimetres, that feeder, which is the maximum size allowed in World Champs, and believe me, it's a massive feeder. You can pile loads of bait in through that. So if with an hour to go I feel like I'm struggling and I want to put a bit of bait in, I can quickly pick up this rod. It's a carp rod, 35-pound braid. I'm not going to crack it off. Fill it up with bait. Whack a load of bait in on the short line, then just plop my method feeder over the top of it. So there's the plan anyway. I'll have a little tickle on my baits, add a bit more water to my ground bait, and then I think I'm meeting Joe at the top of the bank and we'll both talk through each other's approaches.
Quite a modest, again, bait attack here.
Yeah, but I think we've got a nice selection.
A nice selection.
Nice
Do you
selection.
want to run through what you're going to do?
Right, really simple.
You're going to go one line, aren't you?
I'm going to go one line, well, at least to start with anyway.
Yep.
Just take from there. Obviously, pellets get loose fed onto a sort of a bomb line all the time here, 25-30 metres. But on a feeder only venue, a feeder only match,
That's not going to happen.
that's not going to happen.
Yep.
You can't lose feed over. But those fish always sit on that line. That's where they get used to getting fed. So I'm going to fish that line, you know, most of the day and just take it from there. Bait wise,
The old faithful.
we've got ground bait, swim stim green. Can't see any need for anything more complicated, to be fair.
Nice that.
It's caught me fish all over the place.
Lovely and fine.
Really fine. Mixed it up, gave it a couple of helpings of water, whacked it through a riddle, which
Yep.
is really important. I think you've got to make sure you riddle it.
Yep.
What
Are you going to add anything to that into 2 mils or anything
I
like
want to do is I keep the bucket behind me,
Yep.
and then I'll have
that? A play.
I'll have a tub on my side tray, and that'll be my working tub. So I'll probably start, to be fair, with neat pellets. Got
Yep.
some soaked micros,
Yep.
which we'll share out between us.
Yep.
Some soaked micros. Probably start on that around the method feeder, and then as the day goes on, I'll probably have a play. Maybe a bit of ground bait, 50-50. Might have a couple of chucks with just neat ground bait around the feeder, just
Yeah.
to see
what the response is.
skimmers. I think the skimmers are going to prefer the ground bait.
Yeah, I think they will.
Pellets. So I've got pellets and ground bait for
Your
on
feeder.
or around the feeder. Really simple.
A couple of hook baits.
Hook baits, dead maggots. You can't go anywhere without dead maggots. I've got some expanders, which we'll have a look at your expanders in a minute. I just simply put some expanders in a bag, filled it up with water, tied a knot as tight as I can. Now, they're not going to be as tough as your jelly expanders, I don't think.
No, but a nice hook bait.
They're still a nice little bait, durable enough just about to whack a quick stop through and chuck out on a long hair, but they're not going to, I'm not going to be able to bury them in a method feeder.
Yeah.
I've also got, which I've not bought up, some little mini boilies.
Can't really fish method without them these days, can
No,
you?
you've got some little mini boys for hopefully catching some carp as well on a method feeder.
Yep,
So, simple selection, but I think it's enough there for me to work on.
definitely, yeah. Because I'm going down a skimmery route,
Yeah.
and they love expander pellets, I've mixed up some crushed expander ground bait and some actual expanders that I've pushed through a riddle and made a really sloppy mix. Now, it'll only just hold in a feeder, but because I'm only chucking 15 to 20 metres today,
Yeah.
it'll get there no problem. And I know skimmers absolutely love that kind of bait. To that, I'm going to add a few 2 mils, maybe a few 4 mils that we've got here as well, and just use an expander on the hook. Now, as you mentioned, these are jelly expanders. Should we have a look how I made these?
You'll go on then, yeah.
Yeah, I've done a little clip in my kitchen, so we'll quickly cut to that. I'm just about to prepare my jelly pellets ready for my session at Larford. Now, jelly pellets, you can buy them in tackle shops already done and stuff, but I like to do my own. They're brilliant little hook baits for when you're fishing feeder. Even if if you're new to pole fishing or fishing long or anything like that, jelly pellets will just help you, your hook pellets stay on the hook that little bit better. We don't want to go overboard with the jelly. We just want a little bit that'll just firm up the texture of those expander pellets. If you're going to put a quick stop through them or hair rig them, it'll just keep them that bit more like robust and stop them splitting so that you can cast them out. You could cast them out 30-40 metres if you wanted to. So it's a nice little touch. There's a few different things you need for doing this. Firstly, you need a little jug, a little measuring jug. You need your pellet pump, obviously. I like this Ringer's one, and incidentally, it takes 200 mils of water to fill this. That's well worth bearing in mind. Obviously, you need your jelly. You can use like a Hartley's, like a lemon jelly, like a lemon or a pineapple. Pineapple's brilliant in the winter, firm favourite with a lot of anglers that. But for me, I like to go unflavoured, and that means using gelatine. You can use like leaf gelatine like this, or you can use the powdered sachets. It doesn't really matter, but what it is, you want one of them to add to your water. Again, you just want a nice expander pellet, one that you know and use and trust. Any of these will do, any make will do, they're all good now. For the purpose of this, I'm going to use these spotted fin ones because the bag's open, top and bottom of it. But right, let's talk you through the process. Firstly, I've got 200 mils of boiling water. To that, I'm going to add my leaf gelatine. Now I'm just going to get a fork out. I'm just going to dissolve that in there. Just dissolve it and give it a good stir around. Might take a few minutes. There we go, it's just stirring it around now. And what this will do, it'll all dissolve into there, but you don't want to soak your pellets while the water's boiling. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pop this solution in the fridge. Like I said, that's 200 mils of water that fills that pump to the brim, which is important. You don't want any air in that pump. So we're just melting that down. There we go. You can smell it. It's really like an unusual smell, gelatine. What I'm going to do, I'm going to pop this in the fridge for 10 minutes or so, just to cool it down a little, and then we'll come back and show you the next step. Right, so I've given this solution a few minutes in the fridge. I've just had a brew and a bit of toast. Right, now, so what I've done next, I've got my 4mm and my 6mm expanders in the chamber ready to go. Do more than you need, really. You don't need a lot of expanders, let's be honest, for a session. But, you just want to make sure you're covered. The last thing you want to do is bloody like dry out and crack and stuff, so do plenty. What I'm going to do, pour my solution in using this little jug. Very handy tool this to have, little measuring jug. So just pour it in nice and slowly. I say this is cooled off now, so you can actually see that the liquid's quite thick, where the gelatine sort of dissolved into it. There we go. Lovely. Now, one mistake people make with these pumps is they pump too many times, and they're a strong pellet pump, so they actually, if you pump too many times, they actually rip the guts out of the pellets and ruin all the texture, so there's just no need. So 1 or 2 pumps maximum really. So we'll give it 1, and give it a second. Pull all that air out. And there we go. No more than that though, because you will, you'll end up pulling the guts out of the pellets. All sunklet, brilliant. Now, the whole purpose of this is to get that gelatin liquid into the pellets. So, whereas normally I would drain all the water off and just, put the pellets into a bag and just leave them, what I'm going to do, I'm going to actually put some of that liquid into here, into a corner of the bag, and then tie it up. And what will happen, you'll get like a little cone, like a cone of chips, and it'll be in there with all the pellets. And then when you get it out of the fridge in the morning, it'll be like a solid block. So, what we'll do, I'm going to empty that to about just above the line of the pellets. I'll just get rid of that down the sink. I'll just check. Same about halfway. A bit more. There. I think that'll be a little bit more. I think that'll be nice. Yeah, that's it. So just sort of just above the pellets. You can see that get nice and close. Just above the pellets there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to empty the whole lot into this bag. Empty that chamber. Into the bag. Now the next important step, like I say, try and get the pellets in the liquid into a corner like that, so that all the pellets are covered. You see that? All the pellets are covered, there's plenty of liquid there. What we'll do, we'll just tie it up tight, like that, and then tie it off in a knot, and there you go. Like I say, like a little jelly mould, I suppose. And in the morning, what I'll do, I'll put that in the fridge overnight. I'm going fishing tomorrow. Leave them in the fridge overnight. All that gelatin will soak into them pellets dead quick, and there you go. It'll be set like a little jelly mould. I'll show you them tomorrow on the bank. That's how you do jelly pellets. Perfect for feeder fishing, perfect for long pole fishing. Easy as you like.
So yeah, so some nice jelly expanders.
Yeah.
A little bit firmer than yours.
Take them out of the bag, let me have a look.
It should be like a little jelly mould if I can get in.
Take mine out.
But yeah, just
expander comparison.
Yeah, but
because you've not pumped them, have you?
Yeah, I've pumped them. Yeah.
You pumped them, right.
But because obviously, look at them, beauty.
Don't spill them.
But because I've got some backups.
Okay.
But because I'm going to use like a cage feeder and a 10-inch hook length, I need a bit more durability, you know, just to whack them out. So these have got that little bit of jelly in them, and they're lovely. They're not over firm, but they're just enough that it'll get to the bottom. Nice hook bait them. Like them?
Yeah.
Nice?
Yeah.
So we've got them. Compared to yours, which will be similar.
I don't know. Mine are obviously a different expander. These are pro expanders, so
nice pellets.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's just a nice option if you do want to fish them on a cage feeder, even if you're pole fishing or whatever. Just a bit more durable than standard.
It gives you more confidence, doesn't it? Especially in deep water, because you've got a heavy feeder that pulling the hook bait down. It gives you more confidence that your hook bait's still on.
So that's a nice little tip, that. And then my other line is going to be at 5 metres or 5 to 6 metres. I'm not going to be over bothered where just an underarm
I think that's going to be a brilliant line, especially
today.
Temperatures are still pretty.
And what I've done, I've brought some meat out of my freezer that I had left over. Nice. I brought some maggots out of my freezer that I had left over. Obviously, I've got my pellets. I've got a bit of ground bait here. And with 2 hours to go, I'm going to make a bit of a mix, put a few pellets in here, a bit of maggots, a bit of meat,
Chuck it all in.
and just Under Armour, big cage feeder, create a big bed of bait and an Under Armour method
what
there.
I'll do then is I didn't realise obviously you were going to go that gung-ho on it.
Why not?
Well, no, exactly, why not? I've got a couple of tins of corn in the van.
Yep.
I'll go with corn, you go with meat, and we'll see how it goes.
See how it goes, but I think that'll be a nice way, we might catch a real big one in here.
Yeah.
A real big one.
Yeah, I know.
And they can make a massive difference
to the
results.
match, let's start with the last match I fished was a feeder Masters qualifier, so a feeder only event.
Yep.
I was on the far bank, and I think these are generally slightly better pegs than where we were on the day.
Yep.
But on the day, I had a sort of a skimmer approach, the way you're going to fish. Really struggled on it.
Yeah.
And everyone around me really struggled on it.
Yeah.
Obviously not the right conditions to do it, and it was won with
Carp. Yeah.
So it'd be interesting to see whether you catch a load of skimmers on it, and I think this is the right attack, but it was remember in a feeder.
It's just one of them though, isn't it? It's, you know, you've got to remember these qualifiers are going to be November, December, January.
Yeah.
You know, there's not going to be that many carp about, is there? So I think finding out how this skimmer approach works is going to be really important.
Yeah. Looking at the results from last year, you're still looking at sort of £50 plus.
Yeah, you're still going to need a decent weight.
Decent return on this lake. So
you're going to need a couple of carp.
You're going to need a couple of carp, but maybe if you can catch 30-40 pound of skimmers on that,
and then find out. It might be that you spend the first hour chucking into the middle. It might, you know, it might just be as simple as that. But should we go and catch some fish?
Let's have a go.
Let's have a go. Come on. So, Rob, how are you kicking off?
Method feeder. Not putting anything at the start.
No. I'm going to put a couple of little cages in for my mix. Nice little lob. How long? What are you going to do? Just leave it in for quite a while, or?
I'm going chuck. Yeah, I like to chuck out. First chuck, almost wait till I get a bite. Within reason anyway, I'm not going to wait all day, but wait till I get a bite.
Yeah.
Whack the stopwatch on. See how we go.
See how you go, I like that.
Take it from there. It's only a practice session, isn't it?
Yeah.
One thing I will say, Joe.
Yeah.
Nothing is won on the gallops. So come match day, that's when you want to be fully in tune, don't you? So it's not necessarily about catching loads of fish for me today, it's just about
finding what works for you,
working a few things out.
Nothing is won on the gallops. Hey, I forgot to say, obviously Porter rang on the way here.
Yeah.
Fished our method from the last video, didn't he?
Yeah, jigger fishing. Yeah, tunnel, yeah.
There you go.
And my dad did.
And your dad did.
So there we go, 13 minutes in, it seemed like an eternity, but tip's finally gone round. Got a decent fish on the end actually. Just on a little sort of dumbbell. Micros round the feeder. Definitely a carp. Joe's had probably 3 or 4 chucks. He's sort of trying to build a peg, whereas I was just sitting there patiently. It's just nice to do that because it just tells you what's going on. It just shows that maybe early on in the session I don't need to pile a load of bait in. Just take my time and build a peg. Larford has always been somewhere where you've got to time your match perfectly, and I think you start off nice and steady and then build it as the day goes on, and then sort of last hour you can really clatter some fish, get a load of bait in the swim, and you know, really make the most of it. As always, rod nice and low, and just at the last minute just lift it up. It's only a small fish, but definitely worthwhile. Probably, I think I'll show you the other side of him because he's got one eye, and one side where he hasn't got an eye. Let's put that in there. So let's show you the nicer side of him and put him in the net. There you go, lovely little fish. Probably about probably about £4 actually. Let's whack him in there. Doesn't want to go in. Well, I've got a little bait spike on my hair rig, and all I'm doing is spiking one of these little dumbbells on. Micros, fishery micros around the feeder. Dumbbell in the mould, fishery micros in there. Squeezing it on really, really tight as I can. And to start with, I'm fishing to a clip. I'm just chucking out, fishing to a clip. Obviously, if a fish does bolt off, I'll quickly unclip and obviously follow it out. And I've marked my line so I can go back to the original swim. But what I like to do is just fish to a clip at least to start with, and that way you'll get a much better feel for the day. You know, for instance, if I started getting a few bites and all of a sudden it went quiet and I felt like I had to start up a new swim. Practicing the way I am, I'll know that fact for when I come on a match. Really, really slowly sink the line. Make sure it's all beneath the surface. 2 rests, a butt rest and a front rest. A little indication there just as the line settled. And I don't like a big bend in my tip, just enough to see any little indications. Because obviously with a method feed, your tip wangs around anyway, so bite indication is not an issue.
Well, it's taken a few casts, probably 10 casts, but I finally got one on a single expander. Only a little fish, but it's a start. There we go. Rob's had a carp, nice early start. But if we can keep some skimmers coming and some bigger ones, then we'll be all right. Nice little fish. Sort of bread and butter really for this kind of fishing. So yeah, just caught that one on a single expander. I've been fishing double, but maybe single's a bit better for getting a few bites early on. But good sign anyway. I'm getting a few indications in that, so nice to get one that gives me a proper bite. Nice.
So this is 4 fish, 4 chucks. Bites are coming a bit quicker now. This is 4 minutes into the chuck. On that little tiny dumbbell again. Little boily dumbbell thing. This seems a decent fish. I've had obviously that first carp. Then I've had 2 skimmers. So obviously this method's, you know, sort of a catch-it-all approach. And this feels a decent fish. Again, just take my time with it. I think a lot of the matches on this venue in particular, sort of 50 pounds going to be a good weight. Bear in mind we're talking sort of two or three more weeks into winter, so water temperature will be down. So there's no point rushing any of your fish. You've just got to take your time and make sure every fish ends up in the net. Obviously I'm not fishing elasticated feeders today, I'm just fishing an inline feeder, which I suppose you can lose a few extra fish on it, but I like the fact that you can, the neatness of an inline feeder for when we're swapping, the potential that we could swap over to a cage and things like that. The stems are obviously a bit shorter, a little bit neater. So if you keep the rod nice and low and then just at the last minute lift up, and all of a sudden he's in the net without realising, and that is a beautiful fish. Hardly fits in the net. Classic Larford fish, that is. Look at that. See if I can hold him up for you. Easily double figures. Look at that beauty. Beautiful fish. Right, let's put him in the net and see if we can catch a couple more of his mates.
Here we go, nice skimmer. Coming together a bit now. It's I'm trying to speak here on camera. Well, we've had probably 10 fish now, and we've just started to get among. I had 2 of these proper ones now. It's just starting to come together. I'm getting a lot of bites, a lot of indications. It's going well. Rob's had a couple of nice carp now. He's had a good weight. 2 nice carp and a couple of skimmers. But if this keeps going, we'll see at the end. But I don't think my tactics are too wrong as far as the skimmers are concerned. Probably catch them on a method and a maggot maybe, but I think this is quite a nice approach. So keep that bait going in. And hopefully we'll catch a few bonus fish towards the end of the session, but it's alright this.
So Rob, how's it going?
Yeah, nice. I've had, I think I've had 7 tow rounds on the tip.
Yeah.
two carp, one was £4, one was easily double figures,
Yeah.
11, £12. And the rest obviously been skimmers. Bites are coming sort of every 4 or 5 minutes, giving me plenty of time to send a few texts on the phone.
Yeah. Check all the news.
And I'm guessing, looking at my size of fish, I think my fish are bigger than
Yeah,
yours
skimmers,
as well.
Skimmers are definitely bigger.
My skimmers are probably £1.50. I don't think I've had any that are £2, but I think nearly all of them are £1.50 fish, which I'd say is a pretty good average. Keep
Yeah.
reeling one of them in every chuck, you're not going to be far away. Your skimmers look a little bit smaller.
Yeah, I've had 7 or 8 of them little ones, and I've had 2 or 3 now that them sort of £1.50 fish that you're talking about. So it is coming together a bit, but those carp are so big, aren't they?
You just can't ignore the carp, mate. And you know the situation. You're going to fish a really nice, tidy match, catch some skimmers, and unless it's middle of winter and it's absolutely freezing and it's rock hard, someone's going to come here because the carp are so big. They're going to catch 3 or 4 carp and just blitz your skimmer weight. And I just know that's going to happen, and you just kick yourself because you've worked so hard to catch the skimmers and you've not had your bonuses. So where it's probably going to work for you is you tick over with your skimmers,
Then change your match later on.
change your match later on, and if you could catch 2 early carp in the first half an hour by maybe chucking long, and then 2 early carp in the last sort of like half an hour,
Yeah, too late in.
to go with a load of skimmers, you're going to have a brilliant day, and you won't be far away with that.
No. So it's going to be as you mentioned earlier, that timing's so crucial on a lake like this, isn't it? Because there are early mugfish that you probably catch first chuck, if anything.
Yeah, definitely. And when you imagine, I'm guessing that around this lake there's going to be 40 anglers.
Yeah.
Because obviously I think there'll be 20 anglers on the match lake. So there'll be 40 anglers around this lake, all chucking in at the same time.
Yeah.
You know, this 25, 30 metre line, it isn't a secret. There'll be a massive percentage of the anglers on the match will know.
Oh, what's happened there?
I was texting and talking to you, and
Yeah.
he's bounced himself off. So there'll be a massive percentage of anglers who'll know about that line.
Yeah.
Those early fish, before they get a load of feeders landed on that
Scattering.
line, they're going to be massive.
It'd be interesting where that is, though, isn't it? Whether it's down the middle or
Yes.
30 metres or what. Because even today you can see carp showing right down the middle of the lake, can't you?
Yeah, you can. I'm not sure. Do you know how deep it is down the middle? Obviously, it must get a little bit deeper, mustn't it?
Don't know.
Even if it's just a foot deeper, it might just be a little bit more difficult to fish.
I mean, obviously the level's down, isn't it? So
yeah, that maybe helps a feeder match because
yeah,
obviously
I think so. I think
the
so.
bigger fish want to be in slightly shallower water, don't they? I think later on, especially later on this afternoon, depends when we fish till. I think there'll certainly be some fish to be caught close in, some big fish.
It'd be interesting to see if you catch many more carp on that, because obviously I have had it here before where you catch 2 or 3 on the bomb early and then you never see another one.
Yeah, and you're definitely, obviously I missed that bite then, but I think you're getting more indications than me now.
Yeah, it's to be fair, the tip's never still, you know.
Isn't it?
It's
I'm getting no indications whatsoever. I wait 5 minutes and the tip flies round.
yeah, there's a lot of fish here on this, but
And as long as I'm not texting or
yeah,
doing
talking to
something
me.
daft, then I'll catch a fish.
Yeah. Lovely fishing though, isn't it?
Look at that,
There
straight
you
in.
go. That follow
Chucked it
the-
out. Yeah,
follow the
straight
feeder,
away
eh?
that was, within a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Carp.
no skimmer, but nice skimmers again. See that, your fish you've had, what was he, 6 ounce? 8 ounce?
He's in the top of my net, probably 8 to 10 ounce, yeah. So you need
Let's
a
see
lot
what
of them,
this
don't
one
you?
is.
Need a lot
Be
of
a
them.
good
Steve.
comparison because you've just had 2 fish that are 6, 8 ounce. Obviously skimmers, you can put a weight together so fast because you know you're not playing them for long, are you?
No.
So there you go.
What are you catching them on, a little boiler?
A little tiny one of those little dumbbells that I stole off you.
Yeah.
So he is £1.50.
Yeah, easy.
So almost 3 times the size of your fish.
Yeah.
And although you're getting bites quicker than me, you're not catching them 3 times as fast, are you?
No. No, because the whole process is slow, isn't it?
Yes.
Interesting though. Obviously it took a good half hour before I really started to catch any fish.
Yeah, now you're getting a lot of bites, aren't you?
Yeah, it's solid now. You can see like you're getting indications all the time. But
What hook bait we're fishing? Expanders?
The 6mm expander, yeah.
So hold that fish up, what do you think it is?
It's 8 ounce in it.
Yeah. So you've just had 3 fish now that are 8 ounce. So that your average is 8 to 10 ounce.
Would you change anything at the moment? What are you doing?
No, I'm quite happy with
Quite
it.
happy just plodding?
I'll tell you what I'd like to change. I'd like to catapult some 8mm over the top.
Yeah. Make a difference, that would, wouldn't it?
But obviously, feeder only match, I don't think I'll get away with it. And it's quite noticeable, isn't it, with the anglers either side of you if you start peppering 8mm over the top.
But obviously, it's not a problem. Because that ain't happening, is it?
No.
Well, it's busy work this is. A lot of little fish. Might try hard pellet in a minute just to see if that'll pick out a few bigger fish. Maybe even a grain of corn or a piece of meat or something. I mean, it's busy fishing. It's feeling like attacking the feeder on the way down. Must be thousands of these little beauties in the swim at the moment. Nice fishing. But, as Rob quite rightly said, you're going to need £50 before you can think about qualifying. So, that's going to be a lot of fish. Could have probably fished a bit closer in, fishing probably 20 metres at the minute, but I reckon you could probably fish 10 to 13 metres, but again, it's going to be colder come the day of the race, so we don't want to go too close in, but it's great fishing. I love it. The mix is nice and wet. See that it's like really soft, and squeeze it in nice and hard and you know it's coming out as soon as it hits the bottom. Probably a lot of it on the way down, to be fair, which I don't mind. But I'm going to have a play with that and see if I can wetten it up, add more water to it. Maybe put a little grip mesh on or something like that. But we'll keep trying, keep working at it. Well, it's a bit of a turn up for the bucks. I've hooked something, not too sure what it is. But it could be a little carp. I don't think it's a bream, pulling too hard, but something. Rod's performing nicely, look at that, lovely bend on it. But, sort of out of nowhere, I've hooked something a bit better, which is nice. Take your time, mate. Certainly no need to panic, but it's not a big fish. But maybe a stocky or something like that, but oh, even a bream in the dorsal. Look at that, right in the dorsal. Lovely. Look at that, how's that for luck? Look at that, right in the dorsal fin. Beautiful. Never coming off that one.
So I've just got off my box for a second. It's gone a little bit cooler. I think I'm in the shade here a little bit with this tree, so I've just gone and put my fleece on. Chucked out again. Rod's locked round. We've got another decent fish on the end. And I think it is a nice fish as well. I've just got it in within netting range. It's sort of gone under this tree to my left. Felt it kicking around underneath there. And it's going on a bit of a run now. Obviously Joe keeps plugging away on his little 6, 8 ounce skimmers. And if you can just catch, even if you could just catch one of these decent fish in amongst your skimmers every hour, I'd say the bigger fish in here sort of average 8 to 10 pound. So all of a sudden, you've given yourself £50, 5 fish in over 5 hours, you've given yourself an extra £50 to go with your skimmers. Not about pulling its head off, just keeping the rod nice and low. And then miss it with the net. A shocking bit of netting that was. Not as big as the last carp that I caught, but put up a good scrap. Go, second time look at. There you go. And he's probably getting on for £6 or £7, which obviously is a brilliant weight builder. Beautiful fish. We've already got a carp in the net, so I'm not going to bother whacking a load of carp in the net. Just, we've got a nice fish in there to take a picture, we'll put him back.
So Rob, we're approaching the business end of the session now, aren't we?
We are, Smoker. How do you feel that it's gone? What weight do you reckon you've got?
Oh, I don't know.
Have you got £20?
I don't know.
Bear in mind, this is only a short session. We've fished for what?
We've only been fishing since 1 o'clock.
Yeah, hour and 40. We've been fishing for an hour and 40 minutes.
Yeah. Just maybe £20. It's not
Right.
enough though, is it?
Okay?
It's not enough though, is it?
To sure.
It's all right. Don't get me wrong. It's fish are coming quick. There's loads of bites and indications, but in my mind, I'm sort of thinking about my next move really.
Yeah. Well, what do you think your next move is?
Well, I think I'm going to fill it in short.
Yeah. What? 5 metres? 6 metres?
Yeah, just an underarm sort of
Yeah.
lob, and I'm going to quickly bite this off and put a method on and fish with like single or double maggot and just see if I can pick up a few better bream, because that swim's probably quite nicely established now.
Yeah.
And just see, if that sort of a little trap will be a bit better.
Obviously, I've had loads of skimmers, but on that last chuck, I just made the pellets around the method feeder even harder. So that have took a really long time to break up, and that sort of, on that chuck at least, it sort of avoided those skimmers. That initial little flurry of skimmers that come to the feeder and peck away at the feeder. Probably protected the hook bait a little bit, and I've caught a carp, so I'll try that again. Just put the pellets on the feeder a little bit harder. So that didn't really work. Obviously thought again of a carp, putting the pellets on a little bit harder. See there, a few pellets still on the feeder, but result is another skimmer. Although nice fish, maybe probably the biggest skimmer I've had so far, a couple of pound. I think I'll still persevere with ramming the pellets on hard though, because I think it's a good way of increasing the quality of the stamp of your fish.
So Rob,
Joe,
has your change made all the difference?
I've had a few fish on it, but it's not exactly set the world alight. Strange, obviously,
On the maggot?
on the with ground bait and micro feed. Why are you netting your feeder?
Yeah, I was just netting thin air.
All right. First chuck on it
Yeah.
was a carp, so obviously I've started to change to target skimmers, and I've had a little carp on it,
Yeah.
and then slow and steady, a few skimmers. I'd say the stamp increased a little bit with a bit of ground bait, but it wasn't exactly rapid. I think you've definitely had more bites on it than me, because you've switched to the same thing, haven't you?
Yeah, I switched to like 50-50 ground bait and micros.
Yeah,
2 maggots on the up. Little method over where I fished before,
yeah.
and it's been like a bit of a light switch, to be honest. It's just so much quicker, isn't it?
Yeah. You're catching bigger fish than
Yeah,
you were
quality
as well,
fish
aren't
now.
you?
Yeah. Still getting them small ones as well, but they're like every third, fourth fish now, whereas before it was like every fish. So a lot of them £1.5 fish now, which is...
One thing I've noticed is when I came and looked at what you were doing
Yeah.
just a second ago, you're chucking shorter than me by about 5 metres,
Yeah.
maybe even more, and my bites are getting slower and slower, so I just wonder if those fish are coming in all the time.
Well, when you came and just sat with me for a minute ago, it was we've just seen our first couple of carp that have cruised past, didn't we?
Yeah, close in. And matey boy opposite, he's literally just hooked into a fish in the margins. I think that's his first fish that he's hooked into.
So,
Has he got it? His love broke him, has it?
does that mean we're going to introduce some bait short
Yeah, definitely.
and see if we can end up on a high note?
Who do you reckon this will be? PPI? Hello?
Cut in. Nice skimmer, but the stamp has just gone through the roof really, Rob.
Yeah, you're catching £1.5 now, 2-pounders, whereas
Quickly as well, isn't it now?
you're definitely catching quicker than me. I wonder if that's because you built a peg up with that.
If what?
I wonder if it's because you gathered more fish with your more active mix.
Yeah, it could have been.
I was fishing for one fish at a time, whereas you gathered a lot more fishing early on by fishing an open end feeder and a more
Making the
active
switch.
mix.
It's something to bear in mind though, isn't it?
It is.
Obviously, you're
I think-
picking fish off, aren't you, really?
I think method feeder is definitely the way to go, though, isn't it?
Yeah. It's just so direct, isn't it? You got obviously your little parcel, 2 maggots.
We don't miss any bites.
You don't miss any bites, and the fish are bigger. But I think we should.
What's going in short then? What's going in short? What have you made?
Well, what I've done. Very technical, this.
Yeah.
Got some 4mm pellets and 2mm pellets. A few cubes of meat. I mean, look at that. It's just
Yeah, straight it away. Don't rub it in.
a few dead maggots.
Yeah.
And a bit of ground bait. To be honest, I don't know if that'll really matter. It's more getting some bait in, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm going to go for pellets and corn,
Yeah.
and I'm going to feed a full tin of corn. I've put 2 handfuls of 4mm in a bait tub.
Yeah.
And I'm going to feed a full tin of corn in the same tub. I might save a few bits back actually, just in case I want to hook some. Mix it up. I'm going to plug that with micros, and I'm going to feed a full tin at 5 metres.
How much bait are you going to put in?
Well, that is a full tin of corn.
Yeah.
What's that going to be? A pint and a bit with the pellets?
Yeah.
Yeah? Is that how much you're going for, or are you going for less?
I'm going to put back a bit. Well, I filled the 3-pint tub up, so.
Have you? Well, this is probably, yeah, this is a pint and a bit.
You know, you might as well try and
Yeah, give it a go.
gamble.
Obviously, I'm going to plug that with micros, so by the time I've plugged it with micros, it would have,
Yeah, plenty of bait.
yeah, plenty of bait. Yeah, that's what I'm going to put that in. I can't sit on this any longer.
There you go, just taking my time. Rob's got one, I've got one. Oh, I missed him. Terrible bit of netting.
Grab the corn out and go in the bag. Just do the whole lot again and just lift it out.
Lovely fish. First knob in. There we go. Carp o'clock. Big fish. Hard work this when you can't get close to the water, isn't it? Look at that. Not as big as Rob's, but a good fish all the same. Lovely big mirror. I know Rob says that's his only chuck, but I can't resist. I've got to have another go. Look at that, lovely. Great start on that 5 metre line. Just shows you, get your timings right in this session, and the rewards are there. Right, let's have another go with that. Rob, it's been a good last hour, hasn't it?
It's been superb, mate. I've just gone and got my coat out of the van.
I mean, we've had a bit of a tropical monsoon, haven't we?
Yeah.
Out of nowhere.
I can get a bite of chuck short now from big fish. Yeah, I'm going to net him for you. I'm going to net him.
You're going to be McGilly,
Yeah.
are you?
I'm going to say this is the last fish.
Last fish.
I'm going to be the gillet. I'm netting for you.
I mean, none of them have topped that common you had, which was a stunning
what a
fish, wasn't it?
fantastic
Look at that, look.
He's off though, isn't he, this one?
He's off.
How big's this one?
I don't know. They don't look big, do they? And then you net them and they're about £10.
Yeah.
But it just shows you, doesn't it, how quickly, get your timings right,
Yeah.
you can put a little weight together, can't you?
Well, that's the thing. You know your skimmer attack? If you'd have plodded on throughout the day and then got your timings right, hour and a half from the end, or whatever time it was, put your bait in for your carp,
Yeah.
targeted your carp, and all of a sudden,
5 carp and you're back in it,
the
aren't
last
you?
hour,
you go.
I'd say you guaranteed £40.
Nice one, Gillet. Nice
if
one.
not more.
I mean, that's obviously saying,
Which way? It is a high platform.
yeah, it is, yeah.
Don't want to break the landing net hole.
No.
There you go. So he's £8 or £9, isn't he?
Yeah, easy. Lovely fish.
£8 or £9?
Yeah.
Yeah. And what have you had of them? Four in the last.
4, yeah. One every chuck in, really.
Yeah. 4 in the last sort of 30 minutes.
4 in the last 30 minutes for another 30 odd pound, probably.
which is it's a no-brainer, isn't it? I don't think it's going to work in the middle of December.
No,
but at least for the next month or so, it's going to work, isn't
the
it?
first qualifier, it might still play a part.
Yeah.
Certainly on MPEG. You can write me like that, aren't you?
Yeah, it's a little bit awkward, isn't it?
But yeah, so that, I mean, it's been a great session, hasn't it?
It's been superb.
I mean, you've had a big weight.
I've had a really good day. I've really enjoyed it, and I've fished in a real simple way.
Yeah.
What I don't wear, pack the gear away, because I'm melting in the rain. I melt once I get wet.
Melt.
Right. Pack the gear away.
Yeah.
Get it in the van,
yeah.
And then we can have a debrief in the van.
Yeah.
I like a debrief.
Like a debrief.
Yeah, I love that.
I mean, there's a few things, isn't there? So let's get the kit away and yeah, let's get sorted.
Yeah, nice one. Well done.
Well done. I'm going to just underarm it while I pack up. You know, for old time's sake.
Yeah, for old time's sake. Go on then, Smokey, tell us what your thoughts are.
Yeah, it's been a brilliant day, hasn't it?
Yeah, fantastic.
Loads of fish, and I've actually caught more than I thought.
One thing I like,
yeah.
so woodpecker, green woodpecker.
Lovely.
One thing I like,
yeah,
is feeder fishing,
yeah,
and catching big fish on the feeder.
And we've done that.
That's what we've done today. Brilliant.
Yeah, really good session. Learned a lot, and it was interesting, wasn't it, with them skimmers, because you've caught an odd skimmer all day.
Yeah.
But when I switched to the method, it was noticeable that how quick it was, wasn't it?
Oh, it was brilliant.
As if I'd built an area with a cage feeder.
I think that's what you've done. I think you've pulled
Gathered
a
a
load
lot
of
of
fish
fish,
in,
yeah.
but it probably wasn't the best way of
Catching
catching them. And then you took a method feeder in amongst that, and it was like
Unbelievable.
really fast.
Yeah.
I can't believe how fast it was.
So then, but obviously no carp on that.
No, you've not had a carp, have you?
Not on that.
No.
And then we've both come short, and it's been great, hasn't it? Short.
Yeah, oh, brilliant.
Great fishing.
Yeah, superb fishing. I don't think it mattered what we put in there, did it?
No.
We just needed to put some
Get some
bait
gear
in, and some big baits as well,
Yeah.
like meat or corn, something big. And my first chuck over the top of it, I left it for like 5 minutes, chucked it over. Less than a minute, must have been less than a minute. Tips going, I've had that fish. I don't think it might not. Well, we didn't weigh it, but it was getting on for £20.
Big double,
It was
wasn't it?
probably like £18, something like that.
Yeah.
Unbelievably.
You don't catch one under £10 on that
No,
line, do you?
no, and it was superb. And then you've obviously, I've stood behind you for while you've caught a couple as well.
Yeah.
Like that.
It's just big lessons. I think obviously the method's kiddie, isn't it?
Yeah, method.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, definitely.
But it's just whether you gamble and put some bait in somewhere, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Tripod falling over.
Really tripod's fun over it.
But I mean, what would you do going back?
Going back,
Similar to what you've done, really.
very similar to what I've done. Try and catch some early fish on a method feeder. And then, as soon as that line started to drift a bit,
Which you did.
I'd put some baiting on it.
Yeah.
So you get that middle of the match where you can catch some skimmers. I didn't think I'd got enough bait
In your
my
bag.
peg to keep any skimmers there or to hold them there.
No, because obviously I'm casting every minute and a half of a decent sized cage, building and building and
And
building.
everything's coming out mid-water
Everything's
as
coming
well.
out. You're gathering fish, aren't you?
Yeah.
Whereas you're chucking a little neat pile.
Yeah, you go to the bottom, then break it down. I'm waiting for fish to gently come in and
Find
settle
it.
it, find it,
Yeah.
find that individual package. So I'd have to put a bit of bait in, and then I'd chuck again method feeder over the top, maybe with maggots.
Yeah.
Hopefully you have a really good run middle of the match,
Yeah.
skimmers, and then last hour and a half you've got to be putting some bait shore.
Just to give yourself a chance.
To give yourself a chance of like 3, 4, 5 big fish. 5 fish.
Oh, it's
5 fish
changes
could be
your
£80.
match, changes your match.
Could be £80. Beautiful fish, really nice fish. And I'd say 5 fish minimum, they're going to be £40 on that line.
Certainly a match of 3 sections in it. You've got that first hour where you've got a chance of a few carp, and the last hour you've got a chance of
Yes.
a few carp. And then it's what you do in that middle 3
Yeah.
hours, isn't it?
Yeah, that's for if the weather stays pretty mild.
Yeah.
Obviously, if it doesn't, I still think carp are going to play a massive part.
Yeah.
But you might have to chuck long
Chuck long, yeah,
and
and
get
wait,
your
be
timings right
patient.
there and be patient for them.
It's going to be a good match.
Yeah, it should be a good match.
So what's next?
What's next for me? I've got Shearsby final this weekend.
We're both there.
Yeah, we're both there.
Both
Shearsby
there.
final this weekend. There's £2 up for grabs.
Yeah.
Not fishing great,
It's not fishing great.
but
A lot of anglers on it.
a lot of really good anglers on it, local guys, and then there's £2 for the winner. So
Yeah.
a good peg. Take your time on your peg. Could do well. And then probably start on this golden rod campaign.
Yeah. That's
Doing a load of
me.
these.
You've got Ireland to go to, haven't you?
Yeah, I've got Ireland to go to, but that's in a month's time, couple of months.
Oh,
time.
that's a bit tight, isn't it?
Yeah, we'll crash it.
We don't want to crash.
No, I don't want to crash.
That's a bit snug, that, isn't it?
It is a bit snug. I'll let him go by before I go, I think.
Last thing we need is a crash on the vlog.
No, we don't want that.
So yeah, so you got Island, we've got Shears bait, and then it's crack on with the golden rod.
Yeah.
I've got Medlands after Christmas.
Yeah.
We'll probably go there next, shall we?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind going Medlands.
So we'll go Medlands.
That's nice fishing. I could fish a rod there, can I?
Yeah, it's a lot of feeder fishing.
Yeah, I could chuck a little feeder, couldn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds nice. I like that. I like the sound of that.
So thanks for watching, everyone.
Yeah, and we'll see you next time.
See you next time.